Hello, guys. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. So, I am the guest speaker today. Some of you might know me already, some of you might remember me from UKH. I'm a former graduate of UKH and I graduated 2 years ago. And I was contacted by Saint Talib, and he asked me to join you guys and talk about an issue that he addressed to me. And I'm sure most of you know what the issue is. This is an issue that I actually faced myself during my times in Kurdistan and in UKH, and apparently it's still an ongoing problem, unfortunately. So what's great about this is that actually I thank Hussein here for taking some action. Action is that this is the first step so that we could start openly talking about it. And I'm very honored and pleased that he contacted me, and I will do my best to share my knowledge and experience with you guys, and hopefully this will help you to change your perspective about this problem. So now, if we say the problem out loud, it might sound a bit ridiculous, it might sound a bit childish, which is the lack of communication skills between the two genders between the two genders that God has created, men and women. And this seems to be so difficult in Kurdistan for some reason for us to interact, to get along and start to actually, work together. So apparently in UKH, this fellow, by the way, I'm here to talk about this problem, of course as a woman, but mainly as a human, someone who has a multicultural background, someone that has seen the Western world and also has seen the Middle Eastern world. And I'm also Kurdish, just like you, originally from Erbil. So I have the experience there and I have the experience in Europe, so I can combine these two worlds together and the information and experiences that I've had. So I'm not taking sides here, I'm just talking about it in a general perspective. Just want to make that clear. So apparently, yes, as I was saying, girls in the UKH are called stuck up, I hate to use the word bitches, ludbers, thinking too much about themselves, and very difficult for you guys to actually go and communicate, for guys to go and interact with them. And I'm sure this is a similar problem that girls feel, that what happened to me when I started in UKH. Obviously that was the same year I moved to Kurdistan, the first time I actually lived in Kurdistan my whole life. And obviously I was raised in a different way, so it didn't matter if it was a girl or if it was a boy. So whoever comes and says hi to me, wants to have a conversation with me, I treat them the same way, equally. So with manners, with ethics, kindly. So if someone comes and says hi to me and joins my table and wants to start to have a conversation with me, obviously I will have a conversation with them. Doesn't matter if it's a girl or a boy. But then what I realized and what I witnessed is that when I had a chat with boys, just a normal general conversation, they would misunderstand it. They would think that I'm actually flirting, and they would actually think that, oh, she loves me, or they would all of a sudden start having feelings. And that was quite shocking, because to me that was just a normal conversation that you could have with any human. So as a reaction to that, as a shock that it came, what happened to me was that I started to actually isolate myself, and I felt like I need to start treating the guys in a different way. So try to avoid eye contact, try to avoid interaction with the guys, just so I wouldn't be misunderstood. So from being very open, changing to very isolated and what you guys want to call a stuck-up bitch, I felt like, so I'm trying to avoid now, but I'm still called with names. So I don't know what you exactly want me to be. So this is one of the questions I want you guys and the girls to think about. So what is it that you actually are looking for from the girl or the boy? What kind of behavior, what kind of interaction you're looking for? Because to me, it just seems like if I'm nice and open and polite and well-mannered, or if I am a stuck-up bitch, I'm still a bitch. So honestly, for some girls, I totally understand your reaction. I do understand, because it happened to me. So what we do in Kurdistan, this is one of the main problems we have, regardless of the issue, any issue that we have, our reaction to the issues is wrong from the first place, from the beginning. What we like to do, we Kurdish people, me being one of you, we like the blaming game. We like to blame. So in this case, the guys are blaming the girls. Zor l'khor razina, zor lut berzin, who they think they are, how can we approach them, how can we go and ask for their hands or marry them, blah blah blah. And the girls think the same way about the guys. These guys are so disrespectful, they have no manners, they don't have this. So it's a blaming game. So instead of blaming the opposite gender, how about we gather and sit down and think that why is this even happening? What can I do from my side as a human being? Look at myself in the mirror and see what is wrong with me maybe. And not look to blame people and, find other people or other things, the society, the religion or the culture to blame. If you don't like the tradition, you don't like the culture, honestly, let's go to the first main problem that I think that we suffer from, which is I understand why is it so shocking and why is it so overwhelming and why is it so difficult for girls and boys to actually interact, because until the age of until you guys start university in Kurdistan, you guys are separated. You study in girls' school and boys' school, so you don't know what is the communication between two genders until you reach the university. And that is at the age of 18, it's quite difficult to start to adapt to an environment where you are surrounded by the opposite gender. Because before that, you only see the opposite gender at home, which is your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, or outside on the streets, but you never actually have an interaction. You don't know how to communicate. This is the difference between Western countries and Middle Eastern countries, because I was raised, since the kindergarten, we were boys and girls together, playing together, learned how